Donald Trump's heroic summit with North Korea is quickly imploding before his and our very eyes. Trump, during a meeting with the South Korean president Moon Jae-in yesterday, starting to refer to the summit in certainly more linguistically uncertain terms, like if it happens, and just generally using totally different language than the sort of inevitable and unstoppable victory language that he was using just a couple of weeks ago. Let's check out the video. Let's watch the full minute and a half or so to really try to gauge what Trump knows, what Trump is thinking at this time, and the sort of level of confidence that he's portraying, which is significantly lower than what it was just a couple weeks ago.
Just on where things stand with the summit, President Moon's national security advisor on the way here seemed to think that things are on track and that this will indeed happen.
Well, we're moving along, and we'll see what happens. There are certain conditions that we want, and I think we'll get those conditions. And if we don't have the meeting. And frankly, it has a chance to be a great, great meeting for North Korea and a great meeting for the world. If it doesn't happen, maybe it'll happen later. Maybe it'll happen at a different time. But we will see. But we are talking. The meeting scheduled, as you know, on June 12th in Singapore. And whether or not it happens, you'll be knowing pretty soon. But we're talking right now.
Do you have an idea of how denuclearization would take place? Would it be?
I do. I have a very strong idea how it takes place. And it must take place. That's what we're talking about. It must take place. So, but I have a very strong idea, and I have very strong opinions on the subject. I also have very strong opinions that North Korea has a chance to be a great country. And it can't be a great country under the circumstances that they're living right now. But North Korea has a chance really to be a great country, and I think they should seize the opportunity, and we'll soon find out whether or not they want to do that. Yes.
President, have you spoken to Kim Jong-un?
I don't want to say that.
Do you trust Kim Jong-un going into these meetings?
There's no reason to discuss that. I can say this, that for a short period of time, we've been dealing with North Korea, and it's been a, good experience. We have 3 hostages back. They're home. They're living with their families. They're very, very happy. And so I can only speak for a very short period of time, but it's been a relationship that seems to be working, and we'll see how long it continues to work. Hopefully it's going to work for a long time, John.
So all of a sudden, if it happens, we hope it happens. We don't know. Supposedly on June 12th, Trump now talking about conditions, not something he was talking about before. And this is not a surprise, right? Because from day one, Trump understood nothing about North Korea, right? First, Trump seemed to think it was notable that Kim Jong-un wanted to meet with him, as if it were an accomplishment, when, of course, North Korean leaders have been wanting to meet with American presidents for years, simply for the PR and the propaganda value of it. It's the American leaders who have chosen not to meet with Kim Jong-un. Then Trump clearly didn't understand that when North Korea said they'd stop nuclear research, it was after their main nuclear test site effectively fell apart. Then Trump had no idea that when North Korea says Korean denuclearization, that's code for American troops leaving South Korea. He seemed completely clueless about that. And then last week, we finally heard from North Korea that they're actually canceling a meeting with South Korea, threatening to cancel the summit with the United States if South Korea and the U.S. don't stop these military training exercises in the area. And then yesterday, as we discussed on the program extensively, we learned that Donald Trump's own staff is worried that Trump doesn't really fully grasp the situation in North Korea. So all along, it was clear that Trump was missing this sort of key basic knowledge about this. And now it seems to have gotten through to him that the entire thing might be a play to just make him look silly. And this is the clearest indication that there may be no summit whatsoever, and it is not at all shocking. And to be clear, I'm not cheering it, right? I've been advocating the humanitarian crisis in North Korea has been one of the sort of steadfast issues on this program for more than a decade. Since I became aware of the crisis, I have been wanting change for the better for the North Korean people. I want Trump to succeed on this to the extent that he's even a player in the situation. But there's never been an indication that Trump is actually set up to succeed. It's now becoming very clear publicly. The one way in which this is actually a good thing is that it's clear Trump can't actually handle the negotiations. It would really be bad if Trump had to sit down with Kim Jong-un. It would be truly bad because he's simply not capable of it. And I believe that over the long term, if the goal is improving circumstances for the North Korean people and for everybody else who might be affected by the threats of North Korea, keeping Trump away from Kim Jong-un might actually present the best chance for real improvements for the North Korean people. Adding to this chaos is a new report that Kim Jong-un is reportedly worried that when he leaves North Korea to go to Singapore for the summit next month, if indeed it happens on June 12th, that there could be a military coup that takes power away from him and he ends up out of power, which of course would be great. I don't know if it's accurate. There's that phrase, I forget who it's attributed to, correctly or incorrectly, something like, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you. And I have no idea whatsoever whether it's actually likely that Kim Jong-un would be ousted from power by a military coup if he went to Singapore for a few days. But that certainly is in line with his longstanding paranoia and sort of the general paranoia of North Korean leaders, one after the other. So 0% surprise that this very quickly seems to be a summit that may never actually happen, and that might actually be for the better. The video you just finished watching was made possible by you through the membership program. You can sign up for membership at davidpakman.com/membership. We are viewer-supported independent media. You can use the coupon code IVoted17 for a 40% discount off of your membership.